Before we begin, I want to invite you to leave a comment below telling me your name and the city or country you're watching from. I love knowing where my patients and viewers are joining me from, and it helps us feel like a connected community. Now let me speak to you not just as a doctor, but as someone who deeply cares about men's health after 60. Many of you have heard that grapes are healthy, and in some ways that's true. They are rich in antioxidants, contain natural sugars, and have been part of human diets for centuries. But here's the part most people don't talk about. For men over 60, especially those who want to protect their liver, grapes can also be a hidden problem. Your liver is the body's ultimate processing plant. Every drop of blood that leaves your digestive tract passes through it, and over the decades, it works tirelessly to filter toxins, process nutrients, and keep your metabolism balanced. After 60, this organ is more vulnerable. It regenerates more slowly, and any accumulated damage from alcohol, medication, or poor diet takes a greater toll. The reason grapes can be risky lies in their concentrated natural sugars, mainly fructose, and the way they interact with an aging liver. Unlike glucose, which your body can use directly for energy, fructose is almost entirely processed in the liver. When you eat grapes, even without adding sugar, that fructose overload forces the liver to work harder. Over time, and especially when combined with other dietary habits, this can contribute to fat buildup in liver cells, a condition known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is increasingly common in older men. What makes this more concerning is that many of my older patients believe natural sugar is harmless. They snack on grapes throughout the day, sometimes even replacing other meals with fruit. But natural doesn't always mean safe in unlimited amounts. For a 30-year-old with a robust metabolism, the liver can handle that load more easily. But for a man in his 60s or 70s, especially one who already has borderline liver function, elevated triglycerides, or insulin resistance, this extra fructose can quietly push the liver toward inflammation, scarring, and long-term damage. This is not about demonizing a fruit. Grapes have nutrients and benefits. But in medicine, context is everything. What might be perfectly fine for a young athlete may not be the best choice for a senior who wants to keep his liver, and his vitality, strong for decades to come. And when the liver suffers, so does every part of your body. Energy levels drop, hormone production falters, and even sexual health can decline. So today, I want us to look beyond the simple labels of good or bad and understand the real relationship between grapes and the aging male liver. Because knowing the truth can help you make choices that protect your health, extend your vitality, and preserve the quality of your life after 60. Let's step inside your body for a moment and follow the journey of a handful of grapes. As you chew and swallow them, the natural sugars break down in your digestive system. Most of the glucose can be absorbed and used by your muscles and brain almost immediately, but fructose has a different destination. It travels through the portal vein straight to your liver, the control center for processing this type of sugar. The liver has a choice. It can convert that fructose into glucose for immediate use, store it as glycogen for later, or, if the glycogen stores are already full, which is common in men who aren't engaging in daily, vigorous activity, turn it into fat. This fat can build up within liver cells, leading to a condition called hepatic steatosis, or fatty liver. For a man in his 20s, the liver may bounce back with minimal effort. But after 60, recovery slows. The cells don't regenerate as quickly, and years of small, repeated stressors begin to leave their mark. When your liver is burdened in this way, it's not just the liver that suffers. The excess fat inside the liver cells disrupts their function, making it harder to filter toxins, regulate cholesterol, and maintain a healthy balance of sex hormones like testosterone. Over time, the liver's inability to process these hormones efficiently can result in a gradual decline in libido, energy, and even mood stability. This is why I always tell my patients that protecting the liver isn't only about avoiding alcohol. In fact, I've seen men who haven't touched a drink in decades, but still present with early-stage fatty liver disease, all because of the way they handle sugar, even natural sugars from fruits like grapes. When we dig into their diet, we often find the same pattern: frequent snacking on sweet fruits, fruit juices, or dried fruits, often under the belief that they're making a healthier choice. The problem is compounded when other risk factors are present. High blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, elevated triglycerides, and excess abdominal fat, all of which become more common with age, magnify the impact of fructose on the liver. The organ is already under pressure, and the repeated influx of fructose from grapes adds yet another layer of strain. I've had patients tell me, But doctor, it's just a handful of grapes a day. And that's exactly where the danger hides. Not in an occasional indulgence, but in the slow, daily repetition. The liver doesn't get a break. Each day's load of fructose is quietly converted and stored, little by little, until one day, lab results or an ultrasound reveal the truth. It's important to remember that I'm not here to take away every pleasure from your plate. My goal is to help you enjoy food in a way that keeps your body strong, your mind sharp, and your intimate life active well into your 70s and beyond. Grapes can still have a place, but they must be enjoyed with awareness, moderation, and in the right context of your overall diet. And the first step in making that change is understanding the science behind what's happening inside you. One of the most deceptive things about liver damage is its silence. Unlike a broken bone or a strained muscle, your liver rarely cries out in pain until the problem has progressed. This is why so many men over 60 are shocked when their test results show elevated liver enzymes or fatty infiltration. They feel fine, or so they think, yet inside, changes have been building for years. The first signs are often subtle and easy to dismiss. You might notice that you feel tired more often, even after a good night's sleep. Maybe you've been gaining a little extra weight around the waist, despite not eating more than usual. Perhaps you've noticed that your digestion feels sluggish, or that you're more prone to bloating after meals. These are not random changes. They can be early signals that your liver is struggling to keep up. As liver function slows, the processing of hormones, especially testosterone, becomes less efficient. This can lead to a gradual dip in sexual desire, less morning energy, and even a slower recovery after physical activity. Many men attribute these changes solely to getting older, but in my clinic, I've seen time and again that restoring liver health can reignite energy, mood, and libido. The liver is more connected to your vitality than most people realize. Another warning sign that often goes unnoticed is a change in how your body handles rich or fatty foods. If you feel unusually heavy or uncomfortable after a meal, or if you start avoiding certain foods because they leave you feeling unwell, your liver may be signaling that its workload is too high. This is especially important to note if you regularly consume grapes or other high fructose fruits. Your liver is already dealing with a constant sugar load before it even faces those heavier meals. Even your skin can be a messenger. A duller complexion, dark circles under the eyes, or small red spots on the skin can sometimes indicate that the liver isn't clearing toxins as efficiently as before. Again, these are not definitive signs on their own, but together they form a pattern that should not be ignored. I encourage my patients, and now I encourage you, to pay attention to these small shifts in your body. Don't brush them off as just age catching up. Your body is always talking to you. The question is whether you're listening. By understanding the connection between your daily habits, like eating grapes, and the silent strain on your liver, you can make choices that protect not just your organ health, but your overall vitality as a man over 60. When I speak to my patients about reducing their grape consumption, their first reaction is often worry. But doctor, I love fruit. What can I eat instead? The good news is that nature offers an abundance of choices that can satisfy your palate while protecting your liver. The key is choosing fruits with a lower fructose load, higher fiber content, and compounds that actively support liver function rather than burden it. Berries are one of my top recommendations. Blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries are rich in antioxidants and have much less fructose per serving than grapes. These antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, not only help neutralize free radicals, but also reduce inflammation in the liver. I've seen men over 60 who make the switch from grapes to berries report feeling lighter after meals, with less bloating and more steady energy throughout the day. Another excellent option is citrus fruit, such as oranges, grapefruits, and lemons, consumed in moderation and preferably whole rather than juiced. Citrus contains vitamin C and flavonoids that support the liver's detoxification pathways. When eaten as part of a balanced meal, these fruits offer a refreshing sweetness without overwhelming the liver with fructose. For those who enjoy a bit more crunch and variety, apples and pears, eaten with the skin, are great choices. Their fiber helps slow sugar absorption, preventing sudden spikes in blood sugar and reducing the metabolic strain on the liver. The soluble fiber in particular helps bind to cholesterol in the digestive tract, indirectly benefiting liver health. But choosing alternatives is not just about swapping one fruit for another. It's about rethinking how fruit fits into your diet. Instead of eating large portions as a snack, I encourage pairing smaller servings of fruit with a source of protein or healthy fat. For example, a few slices of apple with a handful of almonds, or a small bowl of berries with plain Greek yogurt. This combination slows digestion, stabilizes blood sugar, and keeps you satisfied longer, all while reducing the liver's sugar processing workload. Making these changes doesn't mean giving up flavor or enjoyment. It means making each choice intentional. Over time, your taste buds adapt, and you may find that you appreciate the natural sweetness of these alternatives even more than the quick, intense sugar hit from grapes. Most importantly, you'll be giving your liver the breathing room it needs to recover, regenerate, and continue supporting your energy, vitality, and sexual health well into your later years. One of the greatest concerns I have for men over 60 who regularly eat grapes is how this habit interacts with other common health conditions that often appear with age. Many of my patients are already managing issues like type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, high cholesterol, or high blood pressure. When these conditions are present, the effect of grapes on the liver is magnified, and the risks multiply. For men with diabetes or even borderline high blood sugar, grapes can be a silent trap. Because they are small, easy to eat, and naturally sweet, it's common to consume much more than a single serving without realizing it. This flood of fructose and glucose enters the bloodstream quickly, forcing the liver and pancreas to work overtime. Over months and years, this can contribute to insulin resistance, further straining both the liver and the body's hormonal balance. High cholesterol is another area of concern. While grapes themselves do not contain cholesterol, the high sugar content can indirectly worsen lipid profiles. Excess sugar is converted into triglycerides in the liver, and elevated triglycerides are a major risk factor for fatty liver disease. When this happens in a man over 60, especially one who already has age-related metabolic changes, the road to liver inflammation and reduced function becomes shorter and more dangerous. For those dealing with high blood pressure, the story is also complicated. A stressed liver affects the way the body handles sodium and fluid balance, which in turn can influence blood pressure regulation. The connection is not always obvious, but I've seen patients stabilize their blood pressure readings after improving liver health. And one of the first steps was cutting back on high fructose fruits like grapes. The cumulative effect is where the real danger lies. It's not that a single grape or even an occasional small serving will destroy liver function. The risk comes from regular, frequent consumption layered on top of conditions that are already challenging the liver every day. Each of these factors, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, is like adding another weight to a system that is trying to keep your body in balance. And once the liver starts to falter, energy declines, libido weakens, and overall vitality begins to fade. This is why, when I counsel men over 60, I emphasize the interconnectedness of their health. The liver is not an isolated organ. It is a central hub that influences hormones, circulation, digestion, and even mental clarity. Protecting it from unnecessary stress, like the regular overload of grape sugars, is not just about preventing disease. It's about preserving the quality of your days, the strength of your relationships, and the joy you take in being active and engaged with life. When we talk about the liver, most men think about digestion or detoxification, but few realize how deeply it is tied to testosterone production and overall sexual vitality. A healthy liver plays a crucial role in regulating the hormones that shape your energy, strength, and libido. It's not just the testicles that produce testosterone. Your liver helps maintain the balance between free and bound testosterone in your bloodstream, making it available for your body to use. When the liver is overworked, for example, by constant sugar processing from grapes, it struggles to perform this balancing act. Hormones that should be active remain bound and inactive, and at the same time, the body can produce higher levels of estrogen-like compounds, tilting the hormonal balance away from what supports male vitality. This shift is subtle at first, maybe a bit less morning energy, fewer spontaneous erections, or a slower recovery after intimacy. Over time, however, it can become a clear and persistent pattern of reduced libido and sexual performance. In my practice, I've seen men regain much of their drive and stamina simply by focusing on improving liver health. This doesn't just happen because the liver is processing sugar and fats more efficiently. It happens because the hormonal environment becomes more favorable for masculinity. A clean, efficient liver means your testosterone is free to do its job, maintaining muscle mass, supporting a healthy metabolism, and fueling desire. Another important aspect is circulation. A healthy liver helps regulate blood lipid levels, reducing the risk of plaque buildup in the arteries. Good circulation is critical for sexual function because erections depend on strong, unobstructed blood flow. If your liver is compromised, the chain reaction can lead to poorer circulation, which in turn affects performance. Protecting your liver is, in many ways, protecting the very foundation of your sexual health. For men over 60, this connection is even more important. As we age, natural testosterone production declines, and every advantage counts. If you're allowing your liver to be burdened by unnecessary sugar, especially from sources you think are harmless, like grapes, you're making it harder for your body to fight the natural effects of aging. But if you choose to support your liver instead, you give yourself a better chance at staying vibrant, confident, and capable in every area of life. When a man reaches his 60s, repairing a liver that has been overworked for years requires both patience and consistency. The encouraging truth is that the liver is a remarkably resilient organ. It has the ability to regenerate and recover, even after decades of strain, if given the right conditions. The first step is to reduce the load it carries. This means identifying and limiting sources of excessive sugar, such as grapes, sweetened beverages, and processed snacks, so the liver can redirect its energy toward healing rather than constantly processing incoming sugar. Hydration plays a vital role as well. Water helps flush toxins, keeps the blood less viscous for smoother circulation, and supports the enzymatic processes within the liver. Men often underestimate how much dehydration can sap their energy and dull their vitality. Simply replacing sugary drinks with pure water or herbal teas can create a noticeable shift in how you feel within weeks. Nourishing the liver with foods that actively promote its repair is the next layer of defense. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower stimulate natural detox pathways. Foods rich in antioxidants, berries, leafy greens, and even a modest serving of dark chocolate help protect liver cells from further damage. And healthy fats from sources like avocados, olive oil, and walnuts provide the building blocks for hormone production, including testosterone. Equally important is movement. Exercise improves circulation, encourages healthy metabolism, and helps prevent fat accumulation in the liver. For men over 60, this doesn't have to mean grueling workouts. Consistent, moderate activity such as brisk walking, swimming, or resistance training can be enough to create positive change. I've had patients who, by simply walking 30 minutes a day and making a few dietary adjustments, lowered their liver enzyme levels and noticed stronger, more reliable sexual performance. Sleep is another underrated ally. During deep sleep, the liver works at full capacity to repair and detoxify. Skimping on rest forces it to work while your body is also awake and active, splitting its resources and slowing its recovery. A steady sleep routine, aiming for at least 7 hours of uninterrupted rest, gives the liver the time it needs to perform its most important restoration work. Each of these choices builds upon the other. Reducing harmful inputs, increasing supportive foods, staying active, and sleeping deeply create a cycle of healing that can bring the liver back to a state where it supports not just your physical health, but your confidence, drive, and ability to live fully at any age. One of the most overlooked benefits of restoring liver health in men over 60 is the profound impact it has on the mind. A well-functioning liver doesn't just filter toxins from your blood, it indirectly shapes your mood, mental clarity, and motivation. When the liver is burdened, metabolic waste and inflammatory compounds can build up, subtly affecting brain chemistry. The result can be irritability, brain fog, and even a gradual loss of enthusiasm for activities that once brought joy, including intimacy. When your liver is strong and efficient, it helps regulate blood sugar levels more steadily, preventing the spikes and crashes that lead to mood swings and fatigue. It also ensures that hormones like testosterone and cortisol stay in balance, which can reduce feelings of stress and boost confidence. I've seen patients who, after improving their liver health, report not only better performance in the bedroom, but also a sharper focus at work, a renewed passion for hobbies, and a calmer, more optimistic outlook on life. The mind-body connection is undeniable. A healthy liver means cleaner blood, better nutrient delivery, and fewer toxins interfering with the delicate balance of your nervous system. This can translate into improved reaction times, clearer decision-making, and the mental stamina to maintain an active social and romantic life. For men in their 60s who may have been told by society that their best years are behind them, this renewed mental energy can feel like a second youth, a reminder that vitality is not just about muscles or physical performance, but also about how alive and engaged you feel in every moment. Even relationships benefit. When you have more patience, more clarity, and more emotional stability, your interactions with your partner or potential partners become warmer and more rewarding. You're more likely to initiate connection, to listen deeply, and to express affection without the cloud of fatigue or frustration. This emotional openness, combined with the physical readiness that comes from balanced hormones and good circulation, creates the perfect environment for a satisfying and fulfilling intimate life, even well past the age of 60. Every bite you take is either helping your liver or making its job harder, and over time, these daily decisions determine not only your overall health, but also the strength of your libido. For senior men, especially those past 60, the goal is to choose foods that reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, and provide the raw materials for hormone production. This doesn't mean strict or joyless eating. In fact, the most effective diet is one that you enjoy and can maintain consistently without constant restriction or guilt. Focusing on clean, whole proteins like fish, lean poultry, and eggs supports liver repair and provides amino acids that are crucial for building testosterone. Pairing these proteins with vegetables rich in fiber and antioxidants helps sweep away waste products from the digestive system, easing the liver's workload. Including healthy fats such as extra virgin olive oil, avocado, and small portions of nuts not only protects your liver cells but also supports the production of sex hormones, making them more available for your body to use. Minimizing processed sugars is key, and this is where grapes become a concern. While they seem innocent, their high sugar content can spike insulin and overload the liver when eaten regularly. Replacing them with low-sugar fruits like berries, or enjoying them only occasionally, prevents the cycle of blood sugar highs and lows that can drain your energy and dampen your desire. It's also wise to space meals in a way that gives your liver time to process nutrients without constant interruption. Eating at regular times, avoiding heavy late-night meals, and allowing a few hours between your last meal and bedtime can improve overnight detoxification and hormone balance. Over weeks and months, these seemingly small choices add up, creating a steady environment in which your liver thrives, your circulation improves, and your energy for intimacy returns stronger than before. When your eating habits align with the needs of your liver, you are not just protecting an organ, you are actively investing in your masculinity, vitality, and independence well into your later years. This is the kind of nutritional foundation that allows men to remain confident, capable, and deeply connected to life's pleasures, both physical and emotional. I want you to understand something deeply. Your age is not a limitation, it is a stage of mastery. By this point in life, you have lived through challenges, built resilience, and learned lessons that younger men cannot yet comprehend. Your body, however, still depends on how you treat it today. A healthy liver is not just about avoiding illness. It is about unlocking the full potential of the years ahead. When your liver works in harmony with your heart, brain, and hormones, every aspect of your life becomes richer. Your mornings start with energy, your mind remains sharp, and your desire for connection stays alive. Many men over 60 believe that a decline in vitality is inevitable. But I can assure you that I have seen transformations happen in my patients when they commit to caring for their liver and choosing foods and habits that honor their bodies. They walk taller, their eyes regain their brightness, and they carry themselves with a confidence that attracts respect and affection. It is not magic. It is the reward of consistent choices, day after day, that build a foundation for long-term health and satisfaction. So, as you move forward, remember that you have the power to influence your health more than you might think. Protect your liver, nourish it, and it will repay you with clarity, stamina, and a libido that reflects not just physical readiness, but a deep, enduring passion for life. You are not merely adding years to your existence, you are adding life to your years. And that, more than anything, is what makes this journey worth every step. Now tell me, where are you watching from today? And what is one change you are ready to make for your health starting now?